Hi, my name is Laura Ballone and I'm here today with John Pinto, homemade winemaker. How are you today, John?
I'm doing fine, Laura. Thank you so much for having me on your show this evening. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's good to have you here. I hear you are the master of the winemaking. How did you get involved in the family winemaking business?
Well, Laura, it goes back sometime, probably when I was around 8 years old. Taking you back to around 1971 or so, I started learning how to make wine, actually with my grandparents, my grandfather. They sort of introduced me into the winemaking scenario, which I enjoyed.
Very interesting. I can only imagine what it was like back then. But being that we're in the 21st century and so much has evolved since then, can you give me a little bit on what the winemaking experience is now?
In the process of making this wine, number one is picking up the 5-gallon buckets from the vineyard, bringing it home. And the first step to it is opening it. You want to open up those 5-gallon buckets and let it be an hour or so to let it warm up a little bit. From that process, then what we do is with the 5-gallon buckets, we have our drums that we have. And what we do is we take our drums and the wine that's in the buckets, and what we do is take it from the buckets and put it into the drums. And we usually add anywhere between 15 to 20 gallons per drum, okay? And with this process, then once all the drums are filled up with the wine, you're looking at an incubation period between 7 to 10 days for the fermenting.
Okay, so now I'm starting to get a feel for this. It goes from container to drum to Damajan, but I haven't heard any special ingredients. Do you add anything to your wine to make it taste the way it does?
Well, Laura, that's something I really couldn't tell you due to the fact because it is a family trade secret, and I cannot even reveal that to you.
Oh, well, on that note, let's go to the bottling process. What happens after the wine is fermented and now you need to put it into the bottles?
Well, Laura, at this point, it's still a long process before your wine comes out into the bottles. Basically, once the wine is done fermenting, basically what we do then is we get our Damajan's, which are big vats that hold 15.5 gallons of wine in them. And basically what we have to do is take all that wine that we have in our drums and slowly, and I do mean slowly, take it out. Because what happens after that 10 to 12 days of fermenting, it's a lot of settlement at the bottom. So you want to be very careful on how you remove the wine from your drums and putting it into your Damajan's.
What do you enjoy most about making homemade wine?
Well, you know what, there's a lot of things that I love about my homemade wine. Number one, of course, is making it. Number two is going through the whole process of knowing that you made this wine from scratch, worked hard in it with the fermenting, bottling it. It's a joy. I just enjoy the wine. I enjoy sharing it with others, family and friends. Making the wine actually also brings me back to my grandparents. So it really gives me a really great feeling when I'm doing this homemade wine. It makes me think of them and how they were when they made it. Bottling it, I love bottling the wine. Putting my labels on it, corking it, making it look like a professional bottle. When I hand it to someone or present it to somebody, they look at that bottle and say, wow, what an awesome bottle. It's beautiful, and I know it came from my heart because I made it on my own.
Wow, John, this sounds like you really, truly have a passion for your wine and the whole winemaking processes, and that's wonderful. And I really, really enjoyed talking to you. The only thing I'd like to enjoy is a little taste of it.
Laura, here we are. This is what you've been waiting for. Pinto's Red Zinfandel, homemade. I hope you enjoy it. Tell me what your thoughts are. I think I'm gonna have just a little bit with you. And I think we could do a little toast. I'd like to thank you for having me on your show today. Que belle!